There's this yeye talk some people are tagging me on. Let's hear the guy out and discuss in detail.
I saw a screenshot of a business owner who had taken a loan of 2.725 million from Fair Money, to be precise. And the repayment plan was for 24 months and the amount she was supposed to pay back was 9 million naira. A bit exorbitant coming from 2.75 million. And then you agreed to pay them back 375,000 naira every month for the next 2 years. That was the deal you agreed to. If you enter an agreement, legally as an adult, you have to take responsibility and do your part. Literally the business model to accrue interest and dry you up and make more money than they gave to you. That's how the businesses stay afloat.
When you hear something like an agreement is an agreement, you might easily conclude that it's actually true. But many people are ignorant and they need to be flawed. Let me paint 3 scenarios for you. If a spouse agrees to turn their 14-year-old daughter into a shewo so that she can bring in more money, please ask yourself, will the police and the court say, an agreement is an agreement and let them go scot-free? Certainly not. It's not going to happen because that violates Nigerian law and such a couple will be jailed. Let me give you another example. If a young lady has an unwanted pregnancy and decided to meet a doctor for, let's say, an abortion, and the doctor says, okay, you have to sign this agreement, and after they've signed the agreement, boom, the police arrest both of them after the act. Can the doctor say, you see, an agreement is an agreement? Certainly not. Because of what? They have to violate the law of the land. That doctor will lose his license and may even go to jail. If a spouse sells their sons and daughter into child labor after signing an agreement, maybe the laborer is eventually get arrested. Can he say an agreement is an agreement? Certainly not. He will rot in jail. In fact, it's even an offense to give birth to a child without sending them to basic elementary school. The same thing applies to money lending and financial institutions. Any agreement, let me repeat, any agreement you have that is against CBN guideline about money lending is void by default. Void by default. Now, let me give you 3 points that will nullify any legality of an agreement with respect to money lending and microfinance banking. Number 1 is illegal and unlicensed money lenders. Any money lenders operating without a valid license, any agreement you have with them, that agreement na paper for suya, nothing. Number 2 is any agreement you have and that agreement contains excess interest rates. If they go to court, Nigerian court will strike that agreement out because it violates CBN policy. If the interest rate is far beyond what is permitted under CBN or money lenders law, either they adjust it or they void the agreement. Let me give you one more. Any lending terms contrary to CBN regulations. Let me give you an instance. Any loan apps that add daily overdue interest of 1%, 2% every day, which is against CBN policy of 1% per month. That agreement, the agreement you have with them is void by default. And the last one I will give you today is any loan apps that harasses you, that blackmails, that will blackmail you or defame you, by default, that agreement is void. So, am I saying an agreement is not an agreement? Certainly not. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Any agreement that Nigerian law does not expressly prohibit or they don't have any guideline around it, that agreement remains valid. An agreement is an agreement and will always be valid if it's not against national policy and if it's just. That agreement is valid. You can't say an agreement between you and your friend is no longer valid. That is error. That agreement is valid. So stop borrowing from loan app and stop paying loan app. They are criminal organization. Thank you.